But yeah,
thank you
for giving to the Lord. And so
you used to teach my Sunday school.
So
here's
here's this whole concept of you going to heaven. And if you were a good, faithful Christian who led Sunday school and stuff, then all these people were lining up all around you to thank you and praise you for your work, which is really man-centric. So I think all of this stuff is just really man-centric version of heaven. I can't tell you how many sermons I heard on the mansions. One verse out of John 14, where
which
Jesus
is not
says,
even necessarily
mansions.
Translated mansions.
Right.
Yeah, only the KJV, I think.
I'm going to prepare a place for you.
Yeah.
In my Father's house are many rooms.
I mean, I think there's some debate on that. I haven't looked at that, but I think
still though, the emphasis, like, I mean, I literally heard people, they would say stuff like, I hope that my mansion has this and this and this. And that was the focus. And it's not a God-focused view. It's not, well, I had an acquaintance, pastor friend many years ago. He did a whole series on heaven. And in the course of it, he would talk about how he would say, like, whatever you enjoyed on earth, you'll enjoy more in heaven. So if you enjoyed playing golf on earth, you'll be able to play the perfect golf game in heaven. Ooh. If you enjoyed football,
that would be really boring.
Right, because it would be perfect all the time. Everybody's shooting 18. You know?
18? Yeah. More.
No,
I mean, you'd hole in one. Oh, you mean 18?
18 total.
I got you.
There's 18 holes.
I thought you meant like 18 down.
No,
I got you.
Yeah, it's 18. You know, because everybody's getting it all the time, and like
I didn't know golf, so I was like, I mean, maybe. Is there gonna be Quidditch in heaven? I mean,
you're just nodding. Yeah, 18.
Yeah, 18.
No.
I can tell you, if there was a game that would be played in hell, that would be it.
Oh, we just lost a lot of followers. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe. No, but like,
it's gonna be fun to Photoshop later, though.
Yes, that will be fun. But you know, they'd say stuff like, if you enjoyed, you know, buttermilk biscuits on earth, imagine having buttermilk biscuits in heaven. And I think all of those things, I think all of those things. So, okay, so here are some images that I was taught all the time. Streets of gold, crystal sea, clouds, you in this body, in some version of your body, and with a mansion with all your favorite stuff in it, and banquet halls just filled with your favorite foods.
So it's oh, sorry, you can finish.
No, but that's how people portrayed heaven.
It's the prosperity gospel without the guilt. I think that's just what you're doing, is you're proclaiming like you're going to get everything you want, but then when somebody doesn't get it now on earth, there's a level of like, you promised me I could get this stuff, but if you make it, well, you're going to get it all in heaven. Yeah. Then it's just the prosperity gospel. So that's exactly what you said. It's all completely man-centric, and it makes total sense too why there's so many people that either leave the church or just have been atheists their whole life, that they say, well, I understand why people would need that crutch, but I don't necessarily need that. I've been told that to my face before. Like, I understand why you may need that crutch, because their understanding of the gospel is it just boils down to heaven and hell. No Jesus involved. It just boils down to heaven and hell. Where are you going to go? Do you want to go to the place where you're happy and not sick, or do you want to go to the place where you're tortured all the time? Right. And obviously people are going to be like, I want to get all the stuff. Like, that's where I want to go. I want to get these things over here. And it's boiled down to still complete selfishness, complete pride, complete everything else. And what it is it's actually pointing to the flesh without there actually being flesh in the picture. If that makes sense at all.
Well, go ahead.
There's a passage in a few verses in Hebrews 11, which I think are so telling from that perspective about Moses. That Moses, what is it, considered the reproach of suffering with his people, consider the reproach of Christ of greater value than the treasures of this world, because he was looking forward to the reward. And so I think that's what you're saying is like Moses's perspective was correct. Like what he was looking forward to wasn't like the stuff, because he had all the stuff. He had all the stuff. And he was saying what is coming, Jesus, is of greater value than all this stuff. And so then to diminish, I think what people don't think about is to say that what I'm most looking forward to is the streets of gold and the buttermilk. Dude, can you imagine? And the buttermilk biscuits. I would love to be able to say that I could eat buttermilk biscuits and not be just affected with like my tummy issues and stuff.
Well, that's the one thing you still have in heaven. Everything tastes so perfect. Like,
no. You're all bloated and gassy.
But what people don't think about is like
by the crystal sea with your harp. Exactly. You're blowing wind.
No one's coming near me.
Exactly.
But like what they don't, you make it sound pretty as a preacher when you say, you know, here's what you're looking forward to. What you don't think about is you're diminishing Jesus
100%
by saying that these things are what we're looking forward to.
It's it reminds me a lot of the C.S. Lewis quote, which he's talking about just the broader sense of the gospel, not necessarily heaven, but he talks about how you guys are so content with your mud pies beside your house whenever God offers you a holiday at the sea.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Is that like,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And within that point is, it's what it is. It's you don't understand how big God is. You don't understand how good God is. You don't understand how gracious God is. And just even like what we just started a series as well, talking about God's glory being what is illuminating. Sun, moon, and the stars are gone. And
we started a series on Revelation.
Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. So about Revelation, talking about at the end of all things, whenever the New Jerusalem comes, it's God's glory that fills up the whole place, and that we can't even fathom that right now because while we do have insight into the character of God and the nature of God, and we're given the mindset of Christ through the Spirit, there's going to be this level of full experience that with sin and sorrow and doubt and fear wiped away, we're able to experience the fullness of God completely, and it's going to be surrounding us. And so like, for us to diminish that and say, man, I sure hope I have my Game Boy Color in heaven, like at every game there is, like you're exactly right. You're spitting on God, like it's, and I don't know, it's just so unbelievably selfish, and it's not the heart of the gospel at all.